Every beginner in snail farming must perfect how to grow the young baby snails. One, when you have a young hatchling, the first thing to feed them is succulent fruits like watermelon or cucumber. That's the first thing to feed them is watermelon and cucumber within the first day and up to, yes, within the first 1 month. You feed them succulent fruit as they grow. As they grow, probably when they are 2 months old, you can start feeding them with pawpaw leaf. You can start feeding them with vegetables. But at the first time, at the first day of hatching, that's it. From day one, you can feed them with succulent fruits like watermelon and cucumber because they are still tender and fragile. So they need to eat soft food for them to grow their shell, to grow on daily basis. So those are the first thing every beginner should know. Feeding your snails with succulent fruit like watermelon and cucumber is the best. For the first day, within 1 month, that's the best thing to feed your snail within 1 month. Probably from 2 months old, you can start using vegetables, you can start using garbage, you can start using pawpaw leaf, you can start using pawpaw fruits, yes, and other rich vegetables like cocoyam leaf. You can also feed the potato peas. You can feed potato peas. You can start feeding other rich forms of vegetable, which the snail can feed and be growing on a daily basis. In growing hatchlings, it needs a lot of maintenance, a lot of care. If you as a farmer, as a beginner in snail farming, you perfect the aspect of growing your young hatchlings from within 1 month to 3 months, and probably you have 100 hatchlings, and you were able to manage about 80 to 90% within 3 months, and they are growing well and they are healthy, then it's a good one. It's a good result. If your mortality rate is low, if you have 100 hatchlings and within 3 to 4 months you have about 10 mortality, then your managerial skill is a good one. So every beginner in snail farming should focus on how to learn and perfect how to the incubation process of snail. Learn and perfect what the incubation process of snail. Another thing again on how to grow the young baby snail. If you can perfect these two things, then you are making progress in the farming. But when we fail to incubate the eggs properly and give it the good management to the expected day of hatching, then we are not doing it right. So every beginner in snail farming should perfect how to incubate the snail eggs and how to grow the young hatchlings. That is the beginning, that is the success beginning in snail farming. When you do these two things, when you put more practice, probably you have been trying how to incubate snail egg and you have been doing it wrongly. You perfect it. You want to perfect it. You keep trying. Yes, you keep trying. You want to perfect it. There are processes on how to incubate the snail eggs. We have processes. Okay, let me discuss more on the processes. When you have the incubator, like I said earlier, when you see the eggs in a pen, you make use of a plastic spoon to pick these eggs. You make use of a plastic spoon to pick the eggs. You incubate the eggs in the incubator. And you see that you are using the sand or the sawdust method. We have two methods of incubation. We use the sand method. We can also use the sawdust method of what? Incubating the snail eggs. Then you manage, you have to, as it goes on, from that very day, you have to moist the soil or you moist the sawdust. a little moderate. No, you don't waterlog it. You moist it a little bit. Probably some few days time. You also have to moist until the 21st day of of the 21st day. Probably in the first 21st day, you may get your eggs, your successful fertile. On the 21st day, you may get your healthy ashlings. Probably if you didn't get it at that 21st day, you can keep checking. The best time to check is from the 21st day to the 30th day. The 30th day. You start from the very first day. From the very first day, you incubate the egg. You count the 21st day. When you check on the 21st day, you haven't got you check to the 30th day. If it's more than 30 days, probably, and you have not getting any hatching, probably the eggs might have been damaged. If it's over 1 month and your snail eggs and the snail eggs haven't hatched, probably the eggs might have got damaged, or it might have got cracked, or your incubation, your management process didn't go well. So every beginner in snail farming should perfect how to incubate the snail eggs and how to grow the young hatchlings. When you do this, when you perfect these two aspects of snail farming, then your success journey starts. Okay, you can, from the comment box, you can ask more questions if you are having challenges on how to incubate the eggs and how to grow the young baby snail. You can drop your message on the comment box, so we guide you on how to go about this process in snail farming. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll teaching you more interesting topics about snail farming. We'll be giving you more tips, managerial tips, more key tips, more salient points, more important points you need to know about snail farming. Do well to subscribe to our channel for more.